Yes, sir. What's up, guys? Yes. This DJ will kick the floor in 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to Mzansi Reality. We are back again. I know for sure. What, we are 5 minutes late? I know.
Yeah.
But you know, guys, we have a DJ, presenter, everything in one room. Yeah, so
Director.
And a director. Yeah, what a judge. So we greet you today. It's the second day of the court since it commenced yesterday. If it happens that you missed some of the things that happened yesterday, Titi and Insomnia or whatever that advocate is, Kelly Kumalo's advocate.
Oh,
we
Advocate
have that Msami. Yes, we have that on the other episode.
Yes.
So this one is full of drama.
Hey.
The case itself, but listen, it's not only the case that has a problem here. We also have people outside who are going around making noise and doing all these things that you can think of.
It's a lot.
So I don't even know where we start, but I will hear from Emily, who's in charge of this whole arrangement of where we start. So, do we start with the news about Chicco that we reported yesterday?
I think it's best we start with them.
So, just a bit of a background.
The background started with a tweet that went viral yesterday from Mzilikazi Africa's Twitter account. I'm going to quote this tweet because it's very important. It said, "A person of interest whose name has been mentioned several times during the trial went to Meyiwa's home on Friday and promised Senzo's mother heaven on earth."
Yeah.
Okay, he traveled from Joburg to Mlazi 3 days before the trial resumed.
Yes.
Now, another interesting thing is that in the morning, Griselda Lewis was conducting her job as usual of covering the case. Mm-hmm. And then she decides to interview one of the Meyiwa family members, which is the sister cousin who's always sitting there in court.
Okay.
She disclosed that the person is actually Chicco Twala.
Mm-hmm. And well, apparently from his interview, through his own words, it is not the first time that this has been happening. It has been happening.
He has been
now and then, frequently, and he's promising that he's not gonna end here. He's still gonna do it because Sfiso's mom requires our help. We need to help Sfiso's mom. That is his emphasis. That is his words, where he was saying that instead of pointing fingers, we should be helping Sfiso's mom. Let us tell you what we are thinking. Then let us tell you the background of the story. Maybe what was said by Chicco himself. Emily, give us that. For those who do not know me, I'm Mr. Anonymous, and that is Emily.
Welcome to Mzansi Reality. Zishushu le ndaba lezi kumele zisiqaqe as soon as
on the troll.
So Longwe Twala's father, Chicco Twala, confirmed to Griselda that he was at home of the Meyiwa's family on Saturday. He says he spoke to the Meyiwa's mother, and then when he was asked why, he said that he went to offer his support. Whomever is found guilty, the law must take its course. Right? He conducted 2 interviews today, one with the SABC and another one with Newsroom Africa. So the SABC one has its own points and the Newsroom Africa one has its own points. So he confirmed that he did visit the Meyiwa family, and how he said it's that it's not the first time that he communicated with Senzo's mom. He's written letters to her before, regarding the same situation, but his visit was prompted by a journalist called Zakhele Shiba. Now this journalist apparently is working on a documentary regarding Senzo Meyiwa's case, so he's been in touch with the family, especially it seems like he communicates a lot with Senzo's mother. He called him and said that he was talking to Sfiso Meyiwa regarding a documentary that he was busy with, and Sfiso said something about Longwe Twala, okay? And then he says that he told this journalist that the matter is before the courts and they shouldn't be talking about it on documentary. So that prompted him to communicate with Senzo's mom. But Zakhele said that since Zakhele.
Yes.
Zakhele said that since he's around Durban, then it would be best for him to communicate with them and see if they can meet with Senzo's mom. He's the one who actually arranged the meeting, then spoke to Senzo's mom, and that is how this meeting occurred.
Exactly.
So he says that he wanted to give Senzo's mom his full support and assurance that whatever is happening, they should let it happen and the law is going to take its course.
Yes.
Okay? So he says he's been supportive all along. This is not the first time that he's actually contacted Senzo Meyiwa's mother. He has been talking to him. That's what he's creating. And now I am stunned because there are interviews where Senzo's mom has done on these YouTube streets. We've seen them. And she is still in disarray and she's still crying out for help.
Exactly.
And then on the documentary as well, we saw on the documentary she was crying, she was devastated. No mention of Chicco helping. So he brought up Mzilikazi wa Africa, which is the person, the journalist, the investigative journalist, and he says that he is the architect of Men's Not Berireru account. So he's alleging or he's accusing Mzilikazi of coming up with that Men's Not Berireru account, which actually told us that Longwe allegedly is the one who pulled the trigger. Right? And then he also says that Mzilikazi is working with a guy from Zambia by the name of Chilani.
Okay.
He says that Mzilikazi has been fighting him ever since. And he says that he knows that he's spreading all these lies about him. And that Longwe is actually the one who shot Senzo. And he's referring to these as the lies.
So my question one is that why is Mzilikazi fighting Chicco Twala? Was that reason given on that interview?
No.
Okay. So there was no reason that was given for the fight.
No.
There's no cause of hate or whatsoever that you might think of.
No. And
number two is when he speaks as if he is responsible for Longwe Twala, while Longwe Twala is an adult who's capable of dealing with situations himself. I do not understand why it is him who feels the need to go there, and obviously I would also go as far as to say that obviously you would claim that I'm a parent, things like this happened in front of my child, so I need to be of assistance to maybe Meyiwa's family, which we understand. We basically congratulate you for having that heart of helping. And perhaps I would like to see how many people you are helping somewhere else other than this family in particular, because that would be a very interesting story to have, to say that, okay, I am a helper general. I do help people. I do have sympathy for people, because there are many people who are actually suffering, not because of this case, that other things in their lives. And why do you specifically choose to help Senzo's mom when there is a lingering case around your son and everyone else who was in that house? Because obviously it's an ongoing thing. There are speculations, there's everything. And he can also attest to that, because he also says it, that if it's his son, those who are saying it's his son, if it's his son, he will make sure that he drags him direct to jail. Did you bring your son when you went to see Senzo's mom? That would be very interesting. But my worry is how he speak fondly of Brigadier Gininda, and then also mentions.
We are going to get to that.
Yeah.
Right now, the irony of your question
Yeah.
The irony of your question, because with the interview with the SABC, he did mention, because they asked him what other forms of support. You're saying you're offering support. What kind of support is it? Is it financial, emotional? What kind of support is it? And he says that he doesn't like to let the media know when he's helping people. He is helping people.
Okay.
But here's the irony in him helping people. He says he has assisted students that are lawyers, okay? And that he supported them with their education.
Okay.
Right? And then he also says that Senzo's mom is no different. He's like a sister to her. He supported her before, and it's not even about finances. How ironic is it that he's helping students who are becoming lawyers? Why mention that statement in particular? It really, really threw me off. I was like, lawyers? You are helping students who are lawyers, so right? Why is your help so much with the law? Like that for me isn't there any other help you could mention that has nothing to do with the law? So that's for me, it kind of...
It is. And obviously we choose where we put our money at. Maybe he wanted to be a lawyer. Perhaps we can always spin it like that and say maybe he wanted to be a lawyer, so he felt the need to help lawyers.
But that establishes a connection and a relationship with lawyers. Having this relationship with lawyers, and you're also visiting the Meyiwa family, you know.
Yeah. Well, continue, Emil, because
he also said that Senzo's mom is diabetic and she lost a breadwinner in Senzo Meyiwa. So he says that he started helping long before. Mzilikazi wa Africa is after him. Okay, and she said even Senzo's mother. He said Senzo's mother welcomed him with a smile. With a smile.
And I want you guys to understand this part of why we are emphasizing the smile from Senzo's mother, because there has been some allegations in a sense that the family might be divided. There is a camp that believes there is a mastermind behind, which is obviously what we heard from Harinel in that documentary.
Yes.
So probably Harinel is standing there listening to this whole proceeding for that family side. And then we have the other one where there's cousin and Sfiso. Those ones, they believe otherwise, totally otherwise.
Let me get into it, because it was actually an interview with Newsroom Africa. And then he said very interesting thing, because if there is a mastermind and the mastermind was one of the people in the house, Begitele would have arrested them, that person, a long time ago.
Wait. So this is driving a certain story. And that story, we've heard it before.
And he's sure. He says he wouldn't say who the mastermind is, but he knows that the mastermind is an outsider.
So he also believes, like anyone else in the camp, of saying that there's a mastermind and the mastermind is an outsider. Meaning, when you talk about mastermind, for those who do not understand why we mention mastermind, that means that there's someone who sent these people. Meaning that the people who are standing there, they should be found guilty, and then the mastermind. And remember, when we were doing the analysis of a documentary, we did say that there is a feeling that all the interviews that are done by people who were in the house, other than, because I've not heard AM talk, it points to that to that narrative of mastermind, in a sense. That's my view. So there's someone who was actually angry and wanted to make sure that if you cannot have Senzo, no one will have Senzo.
You know what's interesting as well is the fact that he knows details. I mean, he said that they are taking their time to arrest the mastermind because he doesn't think that they want the public to start doubting their investigations and all that.
Yeah.
And then he further says that he thinks that they know who the mastermind is.
Is it?
Now, he
even
said...
Senzo's mother has that theory, by the way.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
He says you can hear from Gerinel. He has been speaking before. He has spoken of this mastermind theory, and Senzo's mom trusts Gerinel. She even said that she trusts Gerinel more than anyone. Senzo Meyiwa, Senzo's brother, is not the one who trusts Gerinel. He doesn't trust Gerinel. He doesn't want to speak about Gerinel. He believes that the people in the house are the ones who shot Senzo. She actually stays with Gerinel. She listens to Gerinel's advice more than her son. So what does that tell you?
There is for those who are watching Kerli's what is it called, that
the reality show.
Even if there is a shade that he was like throwing there in saying that Senzo's mom is in love with money more than anything. When her son passed away, she was worried. Remember, we even discussed it here.
Yes.
She was worried about who was going to feed her. And now you listen to all this and Chicco going there, probably there's finances and support of finances. So the division, if it exists in that home, it is created and probably there's money in it. Do you understand? I'm not gonna say maybe there's someone, but I feel like there's money in it, maybe. And this is my assumption. I don't have any information. So those who value money more, like they said, in this case, we're going to deal with the case, like Tumelo.
Yeah.
Money, they would take money any day, any time. And we should
they are creating a character assassination of Senzo's mom in some way.
Yeah. And I blame her. I blame her. I know that really hunger would make you do a lot of things. But if you feel somehow about the person, then do not accept that person in your home. So now the shades that were thrown by Kelly, they are sort of now kind of warranted to say that you are worried about money. Because why would you, when your son that is still alive is fighting for his brother, still accept someone or a character that is portrayed in a way in social media and everywhere else? And I want you to look at this pattern. When Zandi had an interview, Zandi was insisting also that there was an intruder, and then there is a mastermind behind. Why would my sister want to take the father of her daughter? And that is a narrative that sounds similar to what Kelly is saying. And you listen to Tumelo's whatever that Tumelo was talking about in that stand, I would say testimony whatsoever. Chicco Twala visited the following day to Kale, right?
Yes.
And then he offered Kale, even Chicco Twala attested to that.
Yes, he even mentioned it today.
Offered Kelly to go to a holiday. Does that mean, doesn't that tell you there is too much relationship happening here? That we right now, for someone who's saying, my hands are clean, then let the law take its course.
And a holiday is not free.
Yeah, don't go around visiting these people, because now we are going to start speculating. You see, if Mzilikazi's Twitter was correct in the sense that you visited there, there's nothing malicious about that. If Mzilikazi as a journalist find that you visited there and your son is in a sense part of the people who were in the house, that is something controversial. So
just before the
does
trial
it warranty the fact that you are saying that he hates you? We cannot deny that. We don't know your personal life. But based on what we are seeing now, what do you want us to say?
Because we were even afraid to speculate yesterday regarding that tweet as to
we just mentioned it in passing.
Yes, because
but we find you in the media duplicated in all these medias. You are justifying why you were visiting him. Yes. I mean, there is nothing to justify.
And when he's saying that, there's somewhere else on the interview where he said that people should stop with the social media. Why do you care so much about what people have to say on social media?
It's called freedom of speech. People should express what they express.
I think he has bigger issues to entertain than social media.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
There are bigger issues like Longwe.
There are a lot of allegations that have been made.
Yes.
Therefore, made a lot of allegations.
You have bigger problems in your circle.
Therefore, made a lot of allegations about the gun, connection of a gun with you and all that. It's in a public domain. And then you are found visiting these people. Yet
he's too concerned about what he can't control. He cannot control what happens on social media.
Let it unfold.
Yes. People have opinions and will always have opinions.
Let the law exonerate you. I think that would be my closure in this. I don't want to entertain it. Look at how it has clouded the case even now. Banging the headlines. Now let us go to the case itself.
Now we are going to the case itself, the activities of the court today. Now some of Tumelo Madlala's statements were being printed out.
So just a pause there.
On the troll.
Let us remind you to subscribe. If you cannot comment, know that you are not a subscriber.
And also
subscribe.
like the video.
Like the video. We have about 430 people.
We are begging for likes.
We only have 35 likes. Can we make that 100 and something at least?
We are
just
begging
check
for
that
likes.
Because we're gonna keep on kind of disturbing this whole process.
Yeah.
Do the right thing there. We will also do the right thing of letting everything flow.
Yes.
Thank
and
you very
don't
much.
worry, later on you will get your opportunity to say what you want to say and also share your opinion at a later stage. Right now, let us roll as quick as we can.
Yes.
Yes, the typing of the statement. Now, Advocate Baloyi volunteered that he had spent the whole night typing the statements of Tumelo, since Tumelo yesterday was saying that he could not see what was written. So he took it upon himself to get those statements typed. And so that they could be used today in court.
Yeah.
Now, Advocate George Baloyi says the delay was due to the affidavit of the witness being typed overnight. And Baloyi says they have also updated the list of exhibits.
Yeah.
Judge Maumela cautioned Tumelo Madlala that he should answer questions and not send them back when asked.
Yes.
Titi Tobani, accused 1 to 4, said, I put it to you that you were jealous of Senzo's career. You said you pulled him to the car when they were taking him to hospital. Madlela answered that's not correct. Tobani, from where the deceased picked you up, where did you go? Okay? And then he said, Madlala answered by saying, we started at a certain place called Kwembu. Kwembu is how he started, and then they had to correct the spelling.
Okay.
Kwembu, he had to spell it out.
All right.
Tobani also asked, I put it to you, while you said you used a lift, I put it to you that there are records that you used a bus. And then Madlala said that's a lie. And then you were in Johannesburg vicinity when you met Senzo. That's why you mentioned Park Station. Okay. Madlala said that's a lie. All right. So the state accused Tobani of compromising Madlala's security by asking about the time he picked up at the place where he is staying, because he wanted to get the estimation of the time. So he asked Tumelo to read out the time on his cell phone, or to tell them when he received the call from the people that pick him up every day for court. And that's where Judge Shipiwa also got in and started to shout at Titi Tobani.
Now, Emily, I have one question.
Your Lordship?
Yeah.
Your Lordship? That's where that scene happened. Your Lordship?
Yeah. So people have been blaming D4 and saying that D4 is the one who was out of order. And I said this, I blame D4 for one thing. When you get into this situation that Titi was at, you need to drink water, because your emotions will always be your downfall. And that I cannot deny. Emotions can be someone's downfall. And I'm saying this.
Advocate Divorce.
I'm saying this because I saw it today with Titi. There is this special way that Judge Maimela has of taking out your character. And whether it's right or wrong, I would leave that to you. But in my eyes, as a public servant, I don't think for someone who's that mature and who's that old, even in terms of position, who's that matured, I don't think it's a right thing to do. And I will tell you why.
Why?
The way, in the manner in which this judge is dealing with the situation, I doubt it would be the same or similar energy would be given if Titi was none other than black. But the problem is that it's now black on black. And I have to say that. And I'm saying that on purpose because the respect that we give to other people but not ourselves, we don't give ourselves that respect. You know, yes, you might know more. Yes, you might need to correct people there and there. That's why you are a judge. That's why you are there. That's why they gave you that position. You can't just come out of school and become a judge. You need to practice. You need to deal with different situations, and then we need to find you fit to actually deal with certain things. But the manner in which you deal with these things also speaks volume. You can't just now, because you are superior in that court, because when you are sitting there, you are superior. Obviously, you are above, you are the law. But make sure that you treat people in a manner that will make you feel happy, even if your child was standing there as some lawyer, advocate, and then a judge is standing there making sure that everything is corrected that needs to be corrected. You can always be right. This is law. Like, we also study other things. We are not always correct.
No.
We cannot know everything.
No,
There are always other ways of doing things. There are loopholes. And you might also be wrong. Yesterday, I called you out when you decided to shut Titi down without hearing him out. Now Titi is even afraid to ask some of the questions.
He doesn't have the freedom to actually interrogate. What is the court term for interrogate? Maybe there's another term that, because I feel like he doesn't have a stretch of questions. He's not allowed to ask certain questions. He's allowed to ask basic questions. The moment he starts actually getting into the interrogation, there's an interference from your lordship.
Which, no matter how smart you are, eventually if someone does that to you, you will fail. You know? But we congratulate him.
And actually telling him to sit down.
And you have done that to Defo.
He did it to Defo. I mean, I was like, this is deja vu. We've seen this before. He's telling an attorney to sit down while they're still busy questioning a witness, and you are trying to select what questions they must ask. I found it highly inappropriate for the judge. I really did. I don't want to lie.
You know, after discussing, you could have let that question go through for the sake of this lawyer's progress.
There's not
so that
much
you do not
adjourning that Advocate Baloyi is doing. The judge is doing it on his behalf.
So that you don't disturb the sequence of things. And then all you can do is to say to whoever standing there, I mean, as Baloyi, that is Baloyi's job, to say that if you don't feel like answering the question, don't. If you don't want to look at your phone, do not. You are not forced to do that. Now, the manner in which the judge was acting is like, it's a must. You must look at your phone, and you must. And I don't see anything wrong with looking at your phone. And I didn't see anything
wrong personally as well, because how is it going to compromise his safety to mention the time? Is there people in that courtroom who knows the location?
Let us make an example.
What do you do with the time without the location? If you're telling me that I wake up at 8 o'clock, what am I going to do with that time if I don't know where you live?
Let us jump the gun here.
Okay.
For example, Advocate Mshololo had information of where this guy was working. And I'm sure he had that information for a while.
Yes.
So honestly speaking, is it that they are protecting Tumelo?
There's too much protection on him. I don't understand it. I don't. You know how he's given protection? It's almost as if his life is in danger.
He's the only integral
key witness. He's under protection services from
4 or 5 people in that house.
They are treating him like such a witness who's living in police custody.
Are they giving everyone who was in that house that protection? I doubt. I really doubt. But continue.
Okay, Judge Maumela said that he's not going to allow Tobani to ask a question on the times that Madlala leaves to come to court for security reasons. I don't know whom you're trying to impress. You go cocky when there is a ruling.
Listen to that. This is the time where you throw the bottle to that man. Like, this is the time they revoke my license.
That's what was happening to Tifo, and people were busy saying that Advocate Tifo is a drama queen. That is exactly. Please go back to those recordings and watch what was happening with Advocate Tifo.
The fact that you are sitting there, does not make you an ion now. It's not like I cannot massage you properly as a man. So don't remove, for the lack of a better word, my manhood, just because you are sitting there wearing that red thing. Outside, you are a person, and respect that. As a man, respect another man. This man has kids that are watching. The father is working.
He owns a legal firm. He has employees.
And you are embarrassing him. If this man said you are cocky to you as a judge, how would it feel?
He would definitely be in trouble for that.
You're right on it. To the mighty law.
What also annoyed me, Mr. Anonymous, I don't know, I'm going to quickly mention it, where he said that Mr. Titi Tobani knows what procedures to follow if he's not happy with him. It almost felt like he's asking to be recused. To me, in my opinion. I'm like, how can you say that?
To me, it almost felt like he knows that he's secured there, whether he complains or whatnot. It's not gonna go anywhere. Who's evaluating this?
How is he comfortable?
Because when I was watching it, everyone was asking that who is evaluating the judges now? Because yes, the lawyers are on the spotlight. There are clever blacks everywhere. Who is coming in for judges and saying that was wrong? Why are not these televisions who are always inviting people to bash some of our brothers? Why are they not doing that to this man? Because honestly, this man is out of order.
Because I was like, how can you have so much confidence to say, so you want Titi Tobani to write a whole letter complaining about you? Do you actually want to delay the case even further? Like, what is going on? To me,
why won't you act correct so that
it's almost as if he knows that that's not what Attorney Titi wants. He has mentioned and emphasized that he doesn't want the case to be delayed. Guys, by the way, check out the community tab, read that letter, verify that information, and please donate
if you can.
Now, how is it possible that a small cloth closed the wound, yet more blood was coming out when the car was going over humps? Now, this is the question that Titi Tobani gave to Madlala. Madlala said, I think I must direct the question to the person who gave us the cloth. Okay, and then Tobani also asked, did Senzo's blood spill on you? Madlala said yes, there were blood stains. Tobani also asked, on the day of the incident, you were on crutches. Madlala said yes. Tobani said, so how could you help carry him to the car? And Madlala answered, I told you it wasn't my whole foot that was injured.
He didn't answer the question.
Yeah, he didn't answer the question. He said his toe was the one that was broken and it landed him on crutches.
And that is not answering the question.
At that point, I almost felt like, I don't know what is happening in South Africa, but those medical records needed to be pulled.
Even if you pull them, even if you pull them, when your toe is injured, your foot is feeling pain. That's why you are on the crutches, both of them. Right?
Okay.
Right? Because honestly, if it wasn't about your toe, that means then you can balance and put your foot down, right?
And walk properly without crutches.
Do you understand?
You were given 2 crutches.
Why?
2 of them.
Why were you given 2 crutches? 2 of them to balance. And then now all of a sudden you can no longer feel pain. You can pull the most heaviest part of the body.
Tobani then asked, how was the visibility in the house? Madlala said there was visibility because the TV was even on. Okay, and that is
now in this regard, it's a visibility of how was the lighting in the house, because that's what we need to clarify. This now is a question that is seeking to see if really the person that is attesting to have seen the guy who really directly pointed at the guy was in that position of pointing the guy. Was the light enough for you to see really this guy while there is a movement and chaos in the live scene moving, people are fighting? Were you able to see the guy, and you went obviously to give one punch before you ran to bed, because that's what you did? Eventually, according to you, you went to hide after that. Now,
he was also asked, you were in the dining room when you saw someone enter the house. You can't see someone, that's what he said, enter the house. The house was an open plan, that is what Titi Tobani asked, and he said no, there was a wall dividing the kitchen. Tumelo said that there is a wall and cupboards that were closing the other side or the other part of the wall. Okay. So moving on, Tobani asked, I put it to you that there was no intruders. There was a fight after Longwetwala entered the house because he was not happy about the relationship between Senzo, Zandi and Kelly. Madlala said it's a lie, that there were no intruders. Tobani said accused number 3 was in Sun City prison when the incident occurred. Of course, you guys, we could unpack all of those facts about accused 1, what the points were, accused number 2, what the points were, accused number 3. He did unpack every single one of them, but I'm going to pick the highlights in his closing. So Tobani says that the police then took accused number 3's DNA and didn't tell him why.
I think there was a key question here of where did you get the pictures? And he said he got them from his camera or his phone. There is seemingly the feeling that he took Senzo's phone. That's a feeling that I have when they were asking this question.
In your opinion?
This is my opinion. They are still, even Mshololo brought that question again. So I feel like they know more. Maybe the phone that was in, because where is Senzo's phone?
Where is Senzo's phone on the scene?
Exactly. So my feeling is that probably the phone in question that they are talking about is that one that he had during that day.
Tobani says that the police then took accused number 3's DNA and didn't tell him why. When they told him that they were charging him, he told them that he doesn't know the soccer star. Tobani says the other accused were also assaulted. So every accused 1 to 4, I think, was assaulted. And Tumelo also mentioned that Mthokozisi was also assaulted. Now, I don't know whether Mthokozisi told him that or whether he saw it happen, because he was bringing up Buthelezi. You know, he was saying Buthelezi fetched Mthokozisi, and then so that is where I don't know whether he saw it or he heard about it. I don't know.
On the troll.
While we continue to proceed with whatever that we are doing, please remember to subscribe. And probably the reason why you cannot chat while others are chatting and having fun, it is because you are not a subscriber. And like the video and share the video. We are live. We are eventually going to give you a chance to call.
Yes.
Continue, Emil.
Tobani is giving accused number 2's version, who says that he was also tortured and assaulted to make a confession. Now, going back to the cross-examination, Tobani said, you ran to the bedroom during the incident. Madlala said, I ran because a shot fired. Tobani, on the version of the accused number 2, says his client was promised money to take the fall. He refused the money. And Madlala said, I don't know that. What I know is that he was present in the house. I don't know about him being offered money. Tobani says accused number 2 showed police bank statements proving that he was in KwaZulu-Natal. Now, he allegedly was getting ready to lobola his wife.
Yes, he went down to do the lobola.
So he knocked off on the Saturday morning before the Sunday. This was, the date was the 26th of October, 2014.
Yes.
He knocked off from work, traveled to KZN. 25th
of October.
Of October.
Yes.
2014.
Yes.
So he knocked off and then he traveled to KZN to start making preparations because he wanted to pay lobola for his now wife. So
and there's apparently proof of statements that are showing that this guy indeed was active in KZN.
And also they have his cell phone records as well.
Yeah.
They have his cell phone records of the communication that he was doing. The police have those records, however... Allegedly, the police, according to Titi Tobani, have those records. However, they don't want to release them because they are afraid that it will compromise the case. Allegedly.
So, accused number 1 had a lot of essay. This guy was captured, allegedly assaulted, and joined with Buthelezi, also accused who were already in prison. There was Nyanga involved there. They went to Nyanga in Palm Ridge. That denied knowing the guy, or that denied.
Let me try reading it. I don't know how fast I'm gonna be. Accused number 1 was arrested in the place in the place of a location. Then he was taken to a certain spot where he was assaulted at Litabong municipality offices in Tembisa. Thereafter, he was taken to a certain police station where he met the leading investigator for this case, Gininda. In the midst of everything, one of Buthelezi's brothers passed on. We don't know what caused the death, but one of Buthelezi's brother passed on. My instructions are that accused number 1 didn't know all the other accused that he is with today in court, and he'd never seen them before until he appeared in court. He met them for the first time in court. Tumelo said that he's not involved in whether they knew each other or not. He said he didn't point at accused number 1, he pointed at accused number 2. After being assaulted, now this is a continuation of the statement. After being assaulted at Litabong municipality, after he met Gininda, as per my instructions, he was taken to the police. The police took him to Soweto. From Soweto, he was taken to Valeria police station, which is in Pretoria. Tumelo said, started getting aggressive and said, what combines me with accused number 1? In a very arrogant tone, Tumelo said, I don't know accused number 1. I don't want to talk about him because I don't know him. And then that's when Judge Chicco entered in and said, Mr. Madlala, what is happening now is that the defense is putting their version of events on the record. It is not because you are pressurized. If you have a comment, you will comment, and if you don't know anything, you don't know. It's okay. So after the Valeria police station, they were taken to Vosloorus, where he was assaulted. From there, he was taken to Palm Ridge, where the police said they are looking for an Inyanga. The Inyanga, The police told accused number 1 that after Senzo was killed, the alleged perpetrators went to that inyanga. So the judge then asked whether they should refer to an inyanga as a traditional healer so that they can put it on the record, and they said, okay, it's fine. Accused told them that he didn't know the inyanga, and then they took his cell phone.
And the inyanga said that also.
Yes, he also said that he didn't know, and they took his cell phone. That's when they went through the phone and searched it and went through the numbers and found a number of his own inyanga in Soweto.
In Soweto, yes.
After they found the number, the inyanga went there at Palm Ridge first and told them that he doesn't know this incident, and the police drove with the accused to Soweto to look for that inyanga, and they found his number on his phone. They found an inyanga by the name of Dlamini. Then Dlamini told them that he doesn't know anything about the incident. Accused number 1 and Dlamini knew each other, but the incident regarding the deceased, they didn't know anything about it.
So the first nyanga, after correction, because we were under assumption that the nyanga that was arrested is that one in Soweto. The first nyanga was the one arrested. That's a correction that was made by TT
at a later stage.
At a later stage.
That
Yes.
is when they took Dlamini and put him in police cells in Soweto. After they asked him questions, they took him and locked him in a police station in Germiston. Then they took him to Valeria police station in Pretoria on a Wednesday. They took the accused to Alberton. They were taken to Kelly's place, and the pictures of him were taken. Now Kelly's place, they mean the spaza.
No. They meant Malberton, yes.
Okay. All right, he asked to approach accused
Is
number
that his
1
place
to
or it
ask
was
something.
Senzo's place?
I don't know. It was both their place.
Okay.
I don't know. Inyanga Dlamini was in Palm Ridge. The other is not Dlamini, but him and the accused knew each other. So Dlamini is from Palm Ridge, not Soweto. So that is where the events of accused number 1.
So accused number 3, right? Because you have dealt with accused number 2, right? Accused number 3 was in prison. They went in, there was no head of prison. That is it Ginindi that went in there?
Yes.
And then they took his DNA without any information. Where it was alleged the incident happened, he did not have dreads at the time when the incident happened. Yes.
And he was already in custody.
And Tumi described the jacket that this man was wearing, which was caramel jacket, allegedly, according to Tumi. That was what he saw from this guy, because he couldn't recognize his face. That is a man who was carrying a gun. He couldn't look at him because of that. Right? And then we have accused 4. What do you have on accused 4?
Well, on accused number 4, his version is very short, actually. He was arrested in prison when the police came and took a picture of him. Okay. Tumelo said that he didn't know him and that he'd never seen him before.
Yeah.
He was arrested after he was approached by a correctional services lead who told him that there was someone who said she was his sister and asked the officer to look after him as her brother, and he had front gold teeth.
Yes.
Accused number 4 told the officer that he doesn't have gold teeth and he never had any gold teeth before in his life. That is when the officer left.
Right. Then we go to Mshololo. That was a closing, most of the closing statements about Titi's proceeding. And then now we go to Advocate Mshololo. This is where the first question was the education.
What's your highest qualification?
This is someone who said that they didn't know what was written in the statement. They have grade 12 and they are working for a school. You know? Now, what does it tell you? This is the very same person who pretended as if yet now and then he would answer using
Metric.
English. Now and then he would answer using English.
He has a metric.
Yes. And he passed it well.
With a metric, you know how to read and write.
And he said he was employed in one of the school. Stopped working this year, March, right?
Yes, this year in March.
So that tells you a lot about this guy. He was a general worker.
He was a general worker.
And he was paid on the 25th.
He was paid on the 25th.
And on the 25th, he also received money from Senzo. 26th, 25th, right? Basically, the question, why didn't he use his money when he got paid? And then eventually, I think he answered that question.
Well, so how did you not have money to travel to Johannesburg? That is the question Advocate Mshololo posed after he disclosed that he gets paid on the 25th, because the date that he traveled was the 25th. And he says that I didn't ask Senzo to send me money to travel to Johannesburg. He would just send me money. Mshololo said, you said in your examination in chief that you didn't have money to go back to Durban. How come? And then Madlala says, I have responsibilities, more than 6 children and a family. I didn't mean, I didn't have money. It had its needs. So the money he has expenses. That's what he said. Advocate Mshololo says, when the deceased died, you were desperate and didn't have accommodation. Madlala said, I can say yes. And Mshololo says, and the only person who came to your rescue is Kelly Khumalo. Madlala said yes. Mshololo, did Kelly Khumalo give you food that night? And Madlala answered, we stopped eating at Kelly's home. And you enjoyed it. Madlala said, I don't know what you mean. Mshololo says, how long did you stay at Kelly's place after the incident? Madlala said, I don't recall the time I spent there. Mshololo asked, was it a day, week, a month? And Madlala said, I think 3 or 4 days. Mshololo says, and you discussed this matter with Kelly while you were there? Madlala said, no, there were people coming in and out. Kelly would stay in her room and she was crying, always crying hysterically. So Advocate Mshololo asked, do you remember the statement you made on the 27th of October 2014? Okay, and Madlala said, at Fosloras with Mtogo, Zandi and Kelly. And Mshololo asked, how was this statement taken? And Madlala said, a police officer took my statement. The others I was going with said somewhere else. Okay. Mshololo asked, you were the best friend to the deceased? Madlala said yes. Advocate Mshololo asked, you said in the court that you didn't care about the Meyiwa family but Senzo. Madlala answered, I meant that whatever I'm doing for the deceased and not his family. And that is when I kind of saw the other relative, with the relative that was sitting next to the deceased sister cousin. She got up after that statement. She got up and left the courtroom. I don't know why. Mshololo said, you are no longer on good terms with the Meyiwa family. Madlala said, I can say that. Mshololo asked, isn't it because they were accusing you of not revealing the truth about this case?
Blatantly denied.
Madlala said, they never accused me. I don't know. Mshololo continued and said, it shows that they are bitter with you. And Madlala said, you can say so. Mshololo asked, so when you arrived, you went to the tavern. Okay, before that, this is actually where there was disclosing that Senzo's mother did not, Tumelo said he greeted Senzo's mother and Senzo's mother did not respond.
That's where the problem started. With the family and the father going there.
And the father going there and asking where he was to his girlfriend and shouting. So those are the 2 incidents that started making Tumelo not want to communicate with the Meyiwa family anymore, according to him.
What do you make of the issue of cans?
Yes, that was very interesting.
Because there was a build-up of questioning here.
I may look for it.
And the guy said he would answer for himself, probably consumed 3 to 4 cans.
3 to 4 cans of beer.
But only 2 cans were fine. And 1 is not what he would have consumed because it's Gorana.
It was Gorana.
Yes, in
he
that can.
He drank Heineken.
So there was only 1 can of Heineken.
So he said that he doesn't even know how many other cans he drank. And they also asked that what happened to the other alcohol, because there should have been more alcohol, right, if they didn't finish the alcohol that they had bought. And he said that it could have been in the fridge.
But isn't that part of the evidence then? It should be part of the evidence because they were consuming it, right?
It looks like that alcohol in the fridge was never even looked for, or I don't know, but
Perhaps
it is what it is.
Continued. But basically,
Tumelo refused to admit that he was drunk. He said, Advocate Mshololo asked, were you were not sober? And he says he didn't want to admit that he was not sober. Okay? That's briefly what I remember.
And then there was an issue of him being paid by Netflix.
Oh, yes.
He failed and forgot.
He didn't want. Mshololo said, you are going to answer this question. I know you've bid, but you are going to answer. How much did Netflix pay you? And it was disclosed that the Meyiwa family by Titi Tobani earlier on, they got paid 250,000 for sharing Senzo Meyiwa's pictures. And then Mtogo says that he had refused, not Mtogo, pardon, Tumelo said he had refused with the pictures. He had refused to give Netflix those pictures. However, as Fiso and Siabonga kept coming to him and trying to convince him to give those pictures until he eventually agreed. But he doesn't want to tell how much.
Because apparently he doesn't remember.
Because he says he doesn't remember.
This is the guy who remembers the name of the store where they bought alcohol.
Kwemba.
This is the guy who even spelled the name.
Kwemba.
The guy who couldn't read the statements before he signed them, but he could spell. This is the guy who could estimate the distance in the house.
Yes, he estimated
which is
the distance.
Was it eight steps? Yes.
And then they measured. It was from him in the witness stand to the court. Court registrar. So he could estimate that distance.
Now that tells you something. This is the guy who conveniently forgets how much he got for Netflix. Yet he remembers the money that was deposited for him to come to, which is Netflix is a late thing, which is more new.
More recent. I would say 2018, 19, if I'm estimating.
But you remember the money that was deposited to you. This is a guy who remembered that the bus had left at 9, but
he didn't buy a ticket.
He didn't remember how much what time he departed Durban Station.
Yes, he didn't remember that part. Madlala says he didn't count how many alcohol the others in the house drank.
This is a guy who remembers roughly how much he had to drink.
And he remembers that Kelly was drinking a Smirnoff Guarana.
This is a guy who remembers vividly how much, what Kelly was drinking and Zandu was drinking. This is a guy who remembers that Mtogo was tortured. And this is a guy who at some point was alluding to torturing, but all of a sudden it's in Togo.
And he was asked today, were you tortured? And he said no, it was in Togo.
There is a lot of casting, or sort of, I would say, alluding in a sense, I would say allegedly, to Buthelezi being the bad person here.
That's what he's trying to create
that's
the
the
narrative.
feeling, that the narrative that is being created about Buthelezi. And that's why Buthelezi was remembered yesterday. And that's why Titi had to ask, why do you keep on remembering this person?
Buthelezi kangaka. Well, Madlala says that he didn't count how many alcohol the others in the house drank at the time. Mshololo asked at the time the incident took place in the house, when you say there was an intruder, you were all drunk. And Madlala said, no, I was not drunk. Mshololo asked, you were not sober. You were not sober. Madlala said, I drank, but I wasn't drunk. Mshololo, when you recognized the intruders, you were not in your sound sense because you consumed alcohol. And Madlala said, I dispute that. So he is saying that those 3 to 4 cans of alcohol had absolutely no effect on him. A photo of beer cans was shown in court, and Mshololo said those 2 cans were recovered by the police on the scene, yet all of you in the house didn't consume just 2 cans. And Madlala said yes. Mshololo said those cans are not a true reflection. Madlala said yes. Mshololo said the other cans you consumed are not shown in the exhibit. Can you see? And Madlala said yes. Mshololo said, so the number of cans you consumed are not there. And Madlala said yes. Mshololo asked, so you would agree that the cans were removed from the scene? And Madlala said, yes, I agree. Mshololo said, so the ones you consumed are not reflected? And Madlala said, yes. Mshololo said, so how will this court gauge your sobriety if the cans are not there? Madlala said, I don't know how to answer that.
And yes, Tolindlov, this is the guy who couldn't remember the size of the towel. He only knew that it was just small.
And blue.
He remembered the color, but he could measure the distance in the house.
But the towel, he doesn't know whether it was thick or thin. And yet he was the one putting pressure on the wound.
On the troll.
Yes, let us remind you to subscribe. You probably are wondering why others haven't. And then this is a time, Emil, I think, if you have exhausted everything that happened, the events, this is the time where we talk with our viewers.
Yes, let's open the
lines. The lines are open. We are opening the lines and we are allowing you
to call us. You can now call us. The lines are open. If you don't know what to call, what to dial,
the number is scrolling down
below.
Some of you are WhatsApping and saying that you need the number. The number, both numbers are scrolling there. Just watch on that screen while you like and subscribe. Check there. If you want to use a WhatsApp, use a WhatsApp.
There is a
if you want to use
a white line of letters, it has the numbers. They are scrolling down below. Yes.
Mzansi Reality, hello. Mzansi Reality. Yes.
Yes, ilandela umXhosa ngiyabona comments ukuthi hey ayithethi le ndoda umXhosa.
Yeah.
Andizibambe namhlanje ne.
Okay.
So into enzeka i1 apha ne. And mama ngicela lapha kwijaji bezinto ezilibala ezinantsika point ezisiza nazo. I think ngiyamthanda kakhulu uTT and I think mina indawo ebias. That's because if you are mamela, because weyo ijaji face yellow nanseka manomfoki nanseka ngakho.
Tumelo.
Uyiseyakhe. So ke into enzeka ayivayo. Kubantu abahlanganisayo, let's say abantu bajonge mhlawumbe uba balimaze lo mfana abahlanganisayo. Into ezidibene namaxesha and especially bekudibene namaxesha bengayiboni uba iyaphi because lo mfana ebesecacile uba akafuni wakhumbula amaxesha. Uyawazi amaxesha but akafuni wakhumbula and udade awe ngalona. And then ndibuye ke ngoku ndize apha kwinantsekutshinda uhlala phaa naphaa, that's because into enzeka ayi-one ngokulibethe point.
Yeah.
Indaba yelantsika yetoti laa nto bendikhe ndatsho izolo ndithi lo mdisa ngoku uyamdiscredita. Umshololo solka ebediscredita bonke. Yabo. Lo mdisa namhlanje if uyayiqaphela ne kukho laa mama kuqala wayethiwa ucleanile phaya nabosula benza everything. So ke ngoku lento ithethwayo ngezithini iconfirma laa nto yayithethi uba no kwafika kwaklinwa apha kwenziwa yonke into and iza kulaa nto e-project time le yafunyanwa phaa kuthiwa yiplantini. So iyaziconfirma zonke ezo zezo, yebo. So ukuthi naye makayeke ucaphuka msinya uthi makafane nalo Nantsika noMshololo if ever uMshololo kuthiwa no man mamela le question enelba uyibuzanga yesi okay uyayi-withdrawa kwangoko yabo. That's because the focus yakhe uyayazi now.
That is not how law works though. You have watched Dalimpofu, you have watched everyone else. Each and every lawyer has his way or her way of fighting the cases. This is a criminal lawyer who deals with these things every day. Probably has won some of the cases and lost some of the cases. So he knows he's got more on his baggage. It's not one person that is representing. Even Mshololo, some of the question he was asking about accused too, it's because TT asked those questions that you called yesterday, foundation. You called nonsensical. The very same questions, they helped Mshololo to stick to accused number 2. Yesterday you said he was only protecting accused number 5. But did you see how long Mshololo dwell on number 2?
The thing is, Galogo, because if you are Kapela, Unantsika uthithile buze ngenantsika ngoba endlini bekukhanya kanjani. Yebo. So I can't get the iphume kulo mfana. That's because lo mfana uma ngento eyi-1 uba no bekulayite ithivi. Ilayitile. That's because yazi into ayibalekayo lo mfana. Ubaleka uba la soka isadlala and ubaleka uba sekukudala edutyulo lo mfana uNantsika usenza. Ebaleka nexesha nje ubaleka loo nto and wonke umntu awe I think ijaji awe ubaleka nexesha. That's because xa kusithiwa bekusakhanya which means bekuseseni.
Yes.
Ngekatshoni langa. So xa ngekatshoni langa which means kudala usayenzo etheni edutyulo. Yabo. Yiyo le nto ebaleka nexesha.
We thank you. Let us allow these ones who are killing me here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. If you've been calling, we definitely give
the line is
everyone.
open.
The line is open. We give everyone a chance. Yeah.
So let
WhatsApp,
me
you can call with WhatsApp, you can call with anything.
Is it correct, Mshololo?
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
We are good, and you?
Subtract.
Yes.
Yeah, as much as I can see this case. You see this judge there, that judge.
Yeah.
He's so biased. That judge must be recuse himself. He's like each time TT is giving a question to this guy.
Yeah.
He's interrupting. He's doing all sorts of stuff that is bad. I think he doesn't deserve to continue that case.
That's your feeling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank
hello.
you.
Mzansi Reality, hello.
Hello.
Mzansi Reality, hello. All right. Please switch off your stuff. You're definitely gonna go through.
But you did the pictures that you obtained. Did you obtain them in good faith? How come you gave them to Netflix?
Mzansi Reality, hello.
Mzansi hello.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Mzansi Reality, hi.
Hello.
Guys, when you call in, please make sure you switch
Mzansi
on.
Reality, hello.
You switch off
Hey,
the TV.
Putujan.
Siapila Put.
How are you?
We are good, and yourself?
We are struggling to hear you. There's a background noise.
Wait, what, from me?
Yeah.
No. I'm only isolated. There's no.
Okay. Now it sounds better a bit.
Better. Okay. Good, man. No, look, man. Thank you very much again for this platform, guys. The eye opener. It's just that I've got 4 or 5 points regarding this matter, especially what I saw today. The provoking of Kuban. The judge is provoking him, and he was very good. He almost lost it when he said, your worship was losing it, but wabuya nganeno wakhona uyi-contain and stuff like that.
Yes.
One.
Yes.
Secondly, the judge. I remember when I was following the case Oscar Pistorius, whereby people on a gallery were laughing. The judge called them into order. With this one, the judge would provoke and people would laugh and he keeps quiet. I think he enjoyed, especially was doing it on Therefore. Remember when you were talking about Therefore losing it because people were laughing? I think who Therefore lost it there. And then they are doing it with Utoban and the judge. I think Utoban, when he said your worship is having a thing of mind of putting motion of the judge refusal. He mustn't do that.
No.
He must let this judge continue because he's setting himself to fail.
Yes.
The judge is setting himself to fail.
Yes.
If Utubane can make a mistake of putting that thing off, he refuses. Judge must recuse himself. They will bring another judge because there's a mission here.
Yeah.
These people are on a mission. So I don't want them to bring another judge on this matter. This one must set himself to fail. That's number 2.
Yeah.
And number 3, you remember when was it? Trying to recall. At one stage, Mshololo was betting with pronouncing voluntarily. And you know who to help? Who helped Mshololo is the judge.
Yeah.
Mshololo was battling with that word to pronounce that word, and the judge helped him. Go back to Mshololo's cross-examination, listen to it carefully, you will hear the judge on the background trying to help Mshololo. That's a downfall as well from the judge. I think the judge must help Mshololo to put the question right, not to help him with the articulation. Let me tell you something here.
Yeah.
Who accuse 1 to 4? If they can fire Utoban, not because Utoban cannot do his work.
Yeah.
Fire Utoban and take Mshololo as their Umelwa.
Yeah.
Why am I saying that? The judge has a soft spot on Mshololo. I'm telling you, if Mshololo can run this case alone, all 5 will be acquitted. Because the judge is now showing that he has got a soft spot on Mshololo.
Yeah.
I am telling you, the judge can now show. I don't know what is it that the judge is trying to do here, but we are convinced within a soft spot on Mshololo. But really, why been treated as so? It's very unfair.
In my thinking, sir, I think it has to do with the fact that she's an advocate. I mean, he's not an advocate like Mshololo. And I think therefore, who was an advocate, there was already history of things happening before he even came to this case. So there was that thing. So basically, there is that negativity towards that camp in a sense that because you guys had therefore you led maybe I don't know why.
I hear your point, and trust me, you are right. Yeah, but we don't know. But thank you very much once again for the platform.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's helping a lot with this case. Maybe one more thing. I wonder how can I put it to Mshololo to ask this guy on a stand right now that you saying accused number 2 was held against the wall and you were fighting him while Kelly and Zandi or whoever was fighting the other guy at your back. And the shot was fired. And that wound went to Senzo, the bullet went to Senzo, injured Senzo. From the front, the bullet exited the back. But the positioning of the people in the house, let me tell you something. Usenzo akadekelekanga ekitchen. Usenzo wadidilebe daningo. The kitchen part is the stage. Ukuthi esothi wadidilelwa la because basusa ifocus ekitchen ukuthi kuzobonakala zonke lezi zinto. Kuzobonakala zonke lezi inhlamvu yashala la so asisusebenzini kitchen. Now
we lost you there. Let's take this one.
Mzansi Reality, hello. Mzansi Reality, hi.
Mzansi Reality, hello. Okay, both of them, they're on mute. Right, I will cancel. Hello. Okay, we lost both of them. Here is a WhatsApp message from someone who says, "Hi, Mzansi Reality. This is Sbuda Man from Cape Town. I think the fate of Meyiwa family on finding justice depends on Tumelo being charged." Mzansi Reality. Mzansi Reality, hello?
right now,
We have
how are you?
Yes. How are you doing?
I'm good. No, like I just discovered you guys on YouTube, and I was also like watching the case, so I just wanted to also like give my view,
Okay.
Yeah. Like although I'm not yet a lawyer, but like I am a law student, and to be honest, I'm very concerned, about our justice system,
Okay.
Because if you can look at the state's case, it's very.
We can lose. Yes.
Yeah, it's very weak, and there's really no way that the judge can convict those people on the dock.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with like I every time I'm watching the case, I read at a lot of comments, about people, maybe judging, like Titi Tobane's, style of questioning and stuff. But
Yes.
people need to understand one thing, that lawyers work in teams. You understand? Those questions does not only come from him personally. It means from his team, and they know like the basis at which they're asking those questions, and they know the kind of information they want to get for them to help like strengthen their case.
Thank you.
Yeah. So people should move away from like judging people having barriers with language.
With the language.
And this
yes.
And this is a criminal lawyer. So mostly language is not looked at that much. This is not a corporate or
Commercial
law or stuff like
business
that.
law.
Yes.
Yes.
No, we think.
So what I'm trying to say is that people must not judge him for, and also the obvious he is frustrated with, and every lawyer can be frustrated, and especially with sometimes the emotions become so high, so we should not actually judge them based on that. And after whatever episode, they all try to calm down because they know actually that emotions do actually go high, Yeah. So yes.
We thank you, because I think you are the first one who came in and said, yes, I'm still doing law, and that's great to hear from people who are doing law.
That is great. Thank you for your input. Really appreciate it. Mzansi Reality, hello.
Mzansi Reality, hello.
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 Yeah, kunjani boss?
We are good and you? Sikhona mfowethu. Hey. Singisi siyahluka.
Mina okwami nje ukubuza lapha ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi kuzokwenzakalani ngalomfana lo weakness if find out ukuthi akusiqiniso lelo akakhulumayo lapha uyaboshwa okwenzakalani ngifuna ngikuzwa lokho.
Well, umthetho kube kuthiwa umthetho osutha esisawuthemba ngaleyo ndlela ngabe sithi yes ukumela boshwe ngoba phela uqamba amanga efungile phambi kwemanje lokho kusho ukuthi kumela boshwe.
Okay, ishazi lekhezi sithi ngimamela butwana yazi kwesikhathi ngifila ngazi ukuthi yonke lento ezakala lapha na scam the way izinto zenzakala ngakhona.
Yeah, no.
Ngibona njengathi nje kwenze and manje abethi manje since bebavalile lapha bathi hayi bazobuya nge-14 zaka November.
Yes.
And next month December bazovala futhi.
Exactly.
And then bahlala isikhathi eside. And lama video lama like njengoba bayikhomba live. Angithi lezi zohlala ku YouTube.
Yes.
Lamanye ama weakness abhiza bheka lezi video lezi ukuthi a record lezi zinto ezishiwo umadlala azokhona ukuthi mawafika lapha ecourt akhulume something.
I guess thembeke is strategy so sama lawyer because knowing that lawyers then have to adjust kumele adjust a filterishe lento ukuthi laba bantu bazoza sebekwazi okunye beba trick somewhere.
Hayi sizolinda sibone ukuthi lento lezophelela because manje hayi lezakala lapha nje ngathi nje kuya actwa ngazi mina vele nje ngilosi kodwa ke sizolinda sibukele ukuthi kwenzakala.
Yeah, siyabonga kakhulu.
On the track.
Yeah,
it does feel like a movie.
But the acting, it's a movie.
It does feel like a movie.
Please subscribe, guys, and make sure that you press that like button. Mzansi Reality, hello. Okay, this person gets cancelled all the time and then someone else come. Hello, Mzansi Reality, hello.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Mina ngilosithathe Ireland lo.
Yes, yes.
Hayi ngifonela nje ukubana ndithi ndiske ndonwaba after umshololo namhlanje ngemile.
We lost you a bit there. We are losing you, and I don't know what is the cause of this, but we are losing you a bit. Can you perhaps repeat yourself? Connected for calls and media. Yes, it should be. It should be connected. I'm sorry, we are going to need to just fix something very quickly so that we can hear you. I don't know if you can call because it just kicked you out. Yeah. So while we do that, Emily, continue. On my side, I will fix.
Let's fix the connectivity there. As Mr. Anonymous is working on the connectivity things, I also wanted to ask something. You know, I was wondering about what Tumelo had said on the documentary. There's a part where he said,
yes.
You know that part that it was a game changer. It was really a game changer for me, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if they are not allowed to use the documentary to kind of, I'm wondering about that aspect and that part of situation. Okay, someone has just corrected me here and they're saying this is commercial, crime is commercial term, the maritime system. So they're saying criminal is a commercial crime. Njani ke ngoku? Then Bon Yeshurun, can you please elaborate? I don't I don't understand. So a criminal case is a commercial charge. Is that what you're saying? Okay, so Mshololo said, is it correct you had pictures of your best friend which you obtained in good faith? How come you gave them to Netflix? Then Mazala said, Senzo's brother asked me to assist
Zanzi Reality, hello.
Netflix. Zanzi Reality, hi. Zanzi Reality, hello. Zanzi Reality, hello.
Can you hear us? All right, let's take this one. Hello. Zanzi Reality, hello.
Hello, Nintani.
Skona and Wena?
Jani.
Ngiyaphila ngikhuluma noXolani lana.
Yes, Kolan.
I'm also a student ngenzilo mara ngenza diploma, so I'm still learning yabo.
Yeah.
So into engifuna ukuyazi ne. Okay, there's this time ulongwe Twala aba ne interview ku Metro FM no Moflake.
Yeah.
So lezinto lezo lezibeka zikhuluma lezo like angeke zisebenze phambili case, like ngeke bazipresent to the judge.
The same thing. Situation. Okay, someone is just apologies.
We are going there. So I think they can use them in a certain way.
Yeah.
Some of it they're definitely going to use it if it comes through. Obviously,
because ngathi uyacheka kahle ngathi mamele isitoro isitoro sabekwa ulongwe Twala nesitoro sabekwa uTumelo manje. It contradicts everything esimamelayo, like into enjalo.
And a court, there's a different version.
Totally
different from the
yethi ngapha kunama case number 2 for iqaleli 1.
yes.
Ngizomamela lana ngibonga la ngiqeda kuyithola manje ngiye esipanini, so
siyabonga kakhulu mfethu, siyabonga kakhulu.
Thank you for your time. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Mzansi Reality, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, sir. How are you?
I'm alright, and you?
I'm good.
Yes.
Guys, what's happening? What happened today?
You can catch up on this video. We won't remove it. So you can literally catch up in everything that happened.
Yeah.
There's a lot that happened. If we were to start again, that's another 1 hour.
A lot.
Yeah, but the video is going to be there.
What I will say is, forgive me what I'm going to say here.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I saw previously and what I saw today, I just saw the best betrayer friend ever. Best betrayer friend ever. I think it is that name.
Yeah.
Betrayer, in short.
Yeah.
I think you have to take that Tumelo away just for the betrayer friend ever. And I've got a few things here.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be too long. I'll just be short.
Yeah.
I'm going to say about Ken, about Mshololo, about shouting, about money. In short, when I'm saying about money, I want to say that guy, I feel he deserves to be hated by every South African. This guy, his friend, he passed away. He received money. He didn't even give the wife or the kids at least the money or maybe the half, not even the brother, the children, the money or small share. He didn't bother.
He said it's his pictures.
I beg your pardon?
He said he owns the pictures. He says it's his pictures. So he deserves
it. Yes. Him is owning everything. He's in charge. Anyway, he can own anything. He's in charge. He's protected. He can own anything. No. While he's there, he's protected.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we understand you.
You know, and the one thing I want to say, T4 is educated, is very well educated.
Yes.
And that lady, what they have done today, I was impressed. It's what I was looking for from T4 and that lady, Mshololo. That's what I was looking for a long time ago.
Yes.
But to witness this partnership wasn't happening with T4 and Mshololo before, but now it looks like it's happening. They're teaming together.
Yeah.
Why I'm saying this, I can be wrong, but some of the things Mshololo was got nothing to do with his number 5.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she was asking really powerful questions, and I like that lady because she knows how to massage. She knows how to massage because before she just hit, you know.
It's a build-up.
Before he didn't realize. He didn't realize.
That is true. That is true.
When they ask me about the canes, they think I just a question, just a normal question. But while listening to she knows that, boy, I'm still massaging you. I'm coming. I'm coming.
That is true.
I think, to be honest with you, I can't be low. I have to go away. But I want to say that boy is a terrible liar. Even standard 4, 76. You can see even these guys who are just doing diplomas, they can see these guys just move. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. But, you know, you guys are busy. I can't be long. Guys, well done. Good job. Love you. Good job.
You.
Good job.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mzansi Reality, hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hello. I also want to share my views about the case.
Yes.
Yeah, no, you see this friend of Meyiwa.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a very, very bad friend. This guy, according to my view, I think he thought after maybe receiving the money, he's going to forget about all of those things. Then he ate the man, I think, only to find out that the reality will hit back. And now he can't escape the reality, but he reveals the truth. He will also reveal that he ate the man. So it's a 50-50 thing now.
Yeah.
He still have to shield everyone who was in the house and make a store. Because it cannot be that you remember that someone was wearing a hoodie, but you don't remember exactly who was it, and you can't even identify the person.
Even you remember the color of the jacket.
The jacket, yes, and you remember he said a long time ago, but I remember only the jacket. He can't remember anything else but the jacket. No, it can't be.
Yeah, no, we get you. We get you.
Yeah, so this guy is in deep shit.
For the lack of a better word.
Yeah. Because I'm also concerned if he married him. How can you have this kind of a friend who can even in maybe to even know that this is in this case there are many people who are interested.
Yes.
But he can publicly say, I don't care about the family of this man. I only care about my friend.
Care about your friend. But if you care about the friend, then you care about the family that he cared about.
I even saw the sister, how mad she was.
She walked up.
Yo, like, really.
Yeah, no, we thank you for the contribution. Let us take another caller.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Zanzi Reality, hello.
Hello, how are you guys?
We are good.
And you?
Yeah, I'm good too. I'm not gonna say too much, but I'm thinking the only person who can actually crack this case who's real. I think Umtho, because Umtho is the only person who wasn't in a documentary and he didn't go back to the house, meaning he was pissed off, meaning he couldn't really bear what was happening there.
Yeah.
Because all in all, Umtho has just vanished. No one is talking about him, even the state is not bringing him up. Nothing is coming up about Umtho, and I can't wait for Umtho to actually come, and I want to see which side he's going to come. Maybe he's going to be called as a witness of the defense or the state, but I doubt the state because Umtho is the only person who hasn't really been out there, who hasn't said anything, even in interviews, radio interviews. It's like it doesn't exist, you know. And I think he's the only honest guy we can rely on now. And maybe I'm wrong, but what I'm thinking is that day Umtho comes up in this case, it's the day it's going to be cracked.
Yeah, I think we all hope for that. But we need more of that. We need even neighbors to come forth. Yeah, but you've got a point there.
Yeah.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we're gonna just take one last small person.
Mercy Hope Ventelego says, Hemeli, please elaborate that word, please. The one you mentioned in Netflix when Tumelo was saying that we thought he was playing.
Yeah, it was not Tumelo. Was it Tumelo?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it was Tumelo. Yeah, hello. Zansi Reality, hello. Okay. Zansi Reality, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
We are good. And how are you?
I'm good. Sorry for that, my voice was staying at the background.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Yeah, I'm following the proceedings in fear of repeating what other people had submitted. I don't want you guys to play the judge and say I'm repeating what has already been repeated.
Yeah.
I just want to draw your attention to the case. There is a judge called Judge Ramarumo Monama, who suddenly passed after the... I'm not linking that to Marianne Ndlovu, but he presided on the case, Marianne Ndlovu. Remember the insurance saga?
Yes, I remember that.
And that guy had the case. He was also presiding on the case. This young boy who was shot and killed by police officers. I think that case is now back on trial. That guy did not want, on the case now that is proceeding with a different judge, the guy kept dismissing the defense when they were posing questions to the witnesses where the witness did not implicate an accused of a particular defense. So a question would come and the judge would say, how is the response from that question going to free the accused or your client? Not in those exact words, but he kept on saying, why would you ask him that? Because this person did not implicate your client. And now they were around the point where the defense team was giving submissions on the stories of accused 1 to 4 relative to the case and their whereabouts and like Melanie has explained. I'm just thinking, at first, before the judge explains the relevance to that, I was like, okay, how is him putting that to this witness going to ask this case? If you can maybe just clarify that and also comment, was it right that the judge made those references in that case?
Okay. No, we hear you. Let us hope that you're going to get your answer on the comments.
Okay.
Can answer that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my thing also is, I'm the defense. For instance, if I was defending accused number 5,
yes,
in as much as I want to discredit the witness as not being a credible one, but then what has that guy said
anything that implicated accused number 5. The guy even said, I don't know why this man is here, because I don't know.
Well, I guess if you take that and you lie down, then the confession, so-called confession, then implicates number 5. Isn't it?
It does.
Yes. So you need to bash the guy either way.
You need to poke holes.
Yeah, you need to poke holes so that you clear your person.
Someone was commenting here that actually all the defense needs is for one person to say the deceased passed on in the house.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I did see that comment. Yeah, I'm also reading that comment. I struggled to then say, if he passed on the house, does that take away? It may happen that he had passed at the house or he passed at the hospital. I struggled to see how that will have helped with the case. At the end of the day, the person was shot. He could have died at the house, he could have died at the hospital. It doesn't say if he died at the house, the people in the house may have shot him or
that discredit them then, because they are saying he passed in the hospital.
But they are not medical practitioners. They're not qualified to determine if a person has passed.
It would discredit the witnesses
that were
in the
witnesses.
House.
So if
I'm the witness, okay, last one. Just on this one, if I'm the witness and I say I thought he was still breathing because blood was still going up and down. I don't know. He may have died at home or died at hospital. It's very difficult, especially for someone who has been shot or stabbed, where the blood is still circulating, but the person has already died, to tell from us. Remember, you have someone at home, and then specialists will come, or neighbors or elderly people to say, no, let it go, this person has passed.
Then it would make sense why Titi Tobani was grilling Tumelo about whether he was dragged, was Senzo dragged or pulled or he was carried. That would establish.
I see the point you want to drive. Titi Tobani wanted to say, you were dragging this guy because you were jealous of him, of his success. So you actually wanted him dead, and I think that's where you were going.
That is where it was kind of
whether he was conscious or not.
And obviously moving someone's body is against the law if you are not, don't have any medical assistance knowledge and all that. So it could be that the guy maybe passed away because they lifted him. There is that chance, which then puts them back into being accomplished or whatsoever, but it's crime. Somehow.
Before I go, I would have to read on that, because day in, day out in the location, we drive people, we rush them to hospital. Sometimes we lift them at the back of parties and drive at high speed, understanding that the insurance could be even getting worse based on that. But then there is no way we know and understand ambulances take on average 50 minutes to arrive. Or you watch a loved one dying before you, all in the name is illegal to transport people. And I've never seen anyone who said, I'm attending a court case because the person I was rushing to hospital apparently died based on how I may have handled them.
No, we hear you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks.
Last caller, hello. Zanzi Reality, hello.
Zanzi Reality, hi.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I just want to say, after, having listened to you guys and good analysis, thank you every day. At my age, having seen a lot, having worked with people, there is always a reason for a behavior, for a certain behavior. I like what the judge is doing to CP, because this now makes us realize that this is what was done to P4. I have a relative, a friend of mine, who had a case, and he was demoralized. When you are going to be demoralized behind the scenes, allegedly, what are you trying to do? Do you think you're going to win this case? You make sure you're not going to win this case.
Yeah.
Yes, some money, just drop everything. All that happened to my friend. And then by the time you get to court, you're demoralized. And then you try and ask the question, and the judge questions everything that you're trying to do. So I've always been on Tifo's side. I've always given him a benefit of the doubt to say, if you've been told that you're wasting your time, allegedly, you're not going to win this case.
Yeah.
Then that's how I would behave. Yeah. Yes. I'm saying I don't blame him for behaving the way he did. And I was glad, I was happy when Chicco asked for a genuine.
Yes.
Because I could see he was really being annoyed.
Yeah.
And I was annoyed myself, watching the whole thing. So, and having said that, I also like Mshololo's question around the can thing. That was very interesting. And I said to myself, it means only this guy, Utwala, was sober. Yeah. Okay. and then also, what else do I want to say? Okay, I'll remember tomorrow. It doesn't matter. I'll give you another call tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. That is the last caller on our side. Guys, this is where we end. And with love that we have, guys, tomorrow, if we didn't answer you, tomorrow you should go through. If you don't go through tomorrow, you should. There's a lot of you who are calling and the phone is just buzzing. You guys are just disturbing each other. So on my side, and Emily, I think that will be us closing. We are sorry if we didn't come back to you, because
we couldn't get through.
It has
apologies,
been
sincere apologies.
And
tomorrow, same time,
the WhatsApp people, I didn't take them because I realized that the issue of them coming through, it was a technical problem. I will sort it so that tomorrow I answer more of WhatsApp than
the phone call.
The phone calls. I'll try to balance that because this was a technical issue that we needed to. I need to deal with. Unfortunately, I couldn't find my equipment in this house closer. So, and I'm sorry again. WhatsApp people will answer you tomorrow, and definitely tomorrow you are going to go through. There is not going to be glitches and problems. With that being said, it's love from us. We love you. We see people are still coming through. Others are finding. Others are joking.
We do like foreign numbers. It's just the
we like foreign numbers.
Difficulty.
So guys, what was happening is that when I accepted the WhatsApp call, it sort of kicked you out of the system. So that means that I must have my telephone directly connected to what I'm using here. Okay. So I needed that wire, and then I couldn't get it. I have it. I couldn't get it because I don't know where it is. It's a mess here. But all I can tell you is that tomorrow, definitely, I will have that wire, and I will make sure that you are connected so that the system does not kick you out. And that being said, we thank you, Mabato. Thank you, Dan Bone. Sorry.
No, Dan Bone has been commenting. I feel like
and
today.
then Tolin.
Thank you, Dan Bone.
Tolin Dovu. We see you. We love you. And then Musa Banda. Great work, before to Sabonga Musa Banda.
Thank you.
Debele. Good night, darlings. Good night, Debele. These ones are answering each other. I hope you guys are not sharing each other there. Tobega D and Zillo. Let me see here. Cosmas, I think the name is correct. But what is your number to call from international? No, it's the same number actually, because they do call me
Oh, they
I think
do use
I've accepted Swatini people.
Oh, it's
and,
plus 27.
I think
There's
it's,
zero.
yeah, there's plus 27.
There's
That's
zero,
a code.
you replace
but
it with
there
plus
is that
27.
there is that number of 01 there. You just replace the 0 there. You use plus 27.
Yes.
So that means your 0 is gonna be plus 27, and then you add the number from 7 1. You continue. The number is scrolling down.
15370.
Yeah, the number is scrolling there. There is from New York. The bone from New York.
Wow, the bone. Thank you,
Gapsile
Dan
Mabuza.
Bone.
Can
Thank
Emily
you.
say jurisdiction?
Jurisdiction. I learned. Jurisdiction.
Nyameko Ndebe. Night, guys. This is Edward Maboko. Great show, team. Thank you very much, Edward. Tinile Mkize, this is the last one. And you are Tinile, exactly. You are the last one. After a long break, his voice. I don't know whose voice it is. We love you, Tinile. Emily's voice, and then Freddie comes in after Tinile. There's Tinile, and then Emily, and then the bone. Yeah, ne? Bye, guys. It's love from us, and it's until next time. Thank you.
Until tomorrow, actually. Tomorrow.